Right, I think that should be us ready to go. You ready, DP?
Yeah, I think I'm good.
Sure you're aware it's not just going to be us two?
Hey? What do you mean?
Do you not notice? Down there?
Wow! It's me, Kid Thomson from Pro2 Wrestling.
Oh,
Hi, DP.
fuck.
And hello, welcome back to the HCW show. I'm your host for today, Muzza, and of course I'm joined, as always, by the man himself, DP. And here comes a new challenger from Pro 2. You may have heard him on Pro Tuesdays. It's Kid Thomson. How are you, Kid?
Hi, everybody. Hi, Muzza. Hi, DP. Thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it. All the views I'm about to express are my own and not necessarily those of anybody else's, but they should be.
Yep, excellent. Yep, we are here to do a preview for Pro2 Wrestling Battlelines III. This is taking place at Troon Walker Hall. October, if I can forget, October 20th. There we go. 20th, we've got 6 matches on the card, 5 title matches. And yeah, this is certainly looking like it's going to be one of the bigger shows Pro 2 has done it. Now, of course, we haven't done a preview since Mayday Mayhem 2, so might be somehow people had a loop, but we'll try and keep everyone up to date with what's been happening. Yeah, the one DP mainly. But yes, we'll start off with this match. We'll start off with the big, massive tag team championship match. Lucha Scotland, Lucha DS and Soldato taking on Opulence, Shaman A, and Luke Cairo. So basically with this, Opulence made their debut at Prest Fest and has since then have been undefeated as a tag team. And they've earned this tag title shot. Surprised it's not for the Pro 2 tag titles, but I'm assuming there's a reason behind that. And yeah, Lucha Scotland, they're now the Pro 2 tag champs. They defeated the Alliance, Dominion, and have since then they've been on a hot streak for most of the year. I think they've been on every show at this point in Lucha Scotland, which shows they've been the rightful workhorses and they earned this second reign as Pro 2 tag champs. Yeah, I think this is going to be assuming this is the opener, this will be a pretty hot opener. Lucha Scotland are a very good tag team. Opulence look like they mean business, and yeah, it'll be really interesting. What's your thoughts, DP?
Yeah, absolutely. I know Opulence very well. I'm familiar with Shane Monae's work. I've seen Luke Cairo once. Which has a lot of potential, and I think there's good amount of athleticism there, good amount of energy as well that they can bring to the match. Lucha Scotland, sorry. Very much a staple of Scottish wrestling and very much a staple of Pro 2. As you said, it's not for the Pro 2 tag titles, which has probably a reason for that. But if Che and Luke can get a win here, it's big for them and potential for an opportunity down the line as well for tag titles. So, as you said, like it's gonna be a good match. I have no real opinions other than that on this.
Yeah.
Mother, you got
Kid, what's your thoughts?
Right, well, what I would say is Shea, Monet, and Luke Cairo, I wouldn't necessarily have put them together as a tag team, on the face of it. But they had an incredible match at Homecoming at Drungen, and then they seem to have created this sort of unholy alliance, and they've been absolutely ripping through the tag team division. They've been against the Meat Factory and
That is a
who else
great
have
tag team,
been?
I
by the
think
way.
it's only been the Beat Factory. I think they beat them twice.
Yeah, that's right. Because because they had a match at Press Fest Rock and Wrestling, and they also had a match at King of the Bing. That's right, and I was really impressed, but especially by the one at King of the Bing.
Mhm.
So as I say, they're just tearing through the tag team division, and they're going for the big, massive wrestling tag team championships. Now, to come into your question about why they would be going for that, now I'm only guessing, but opulence, it means ostentatious, dripping with luxury, and what could be more ostentatious, I suppose, than a championship belts that are called big, massive.
Yeah, fair.
It's my opinion, of course, but
Yeah, that's a fair point. And, as we've said, at the very least, you win this, they win those belts, and they potentially get a chance to win the Pro 2 tag belts down the line. You never know. Double champs. Always a good thing to have. Yeah.
it would certainly put them in good standing, wouldn't it? So we'll see. We'll just have to see on that one. But Lucha Scotland, as you rightly point out, are a complete staple of Pro 2 wrestling. The fans, every time they come out, the fans just absolutely love them and get right behind them. So Shea and Luke have a really tough match on their hands.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I also think
I
that
think
they should be reprimanded for bringing in a foreign weapon.
that they're not the cake stuff again. It
Oh,
was a locally sourced cake.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't belong in a wrestling ring. It's a foreign object.
when I tell you my heart went into my mouth when I saw that cake come out, because we had no idea. We'd been, there was specific instructions from hall management not to bring any cake because they were trying to clean it off the ceiling from the previous year. So you'll have saw at the end of the match there they had "Sorry Helen" on their t-shirts. How they got that's a hall manager, Helen, and they managed to turn it around doing the Young Bucks spot at the end where they kissed her on the cheek. They turned it around. They're just wonderful guys in and out of the ring.
I mean, that's your opinion.
My prediction for this match, I think it's a very close one here, but I think Opulence will get the win here. I think they're on a hot streak right now. They'll be wanting the Pro 2 tag titles as well as the big massive tag titles, so I think they'll be coming in here with all the energy, and I think they'll come out on top.
Well,
Yeah, we'll just what you're saying?
Also, I tend to reserve judgment about predictions a little bit, but certainly they have a lot of momentum going for them.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Fair enough. Meanwhile,
So we'll move on to the next.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
I won't give a prediction. That's fine. I know. Move on.
Yeah, fair enough. I'll just be the only one doing. I've got my predictions anyway, so that's fine enough. I'll move on next to the only non-title match. It is Cowboy Rules. Godspeed, Bill Watts. It is Frank X Cross versus Frank Gallo. About the Franks here. Basically, Frank Cross, a bit of a down year for him. Not necessarily. He's just been unfortunate recently. He failed to regain the interpromotional title against Davey at Homecoming. He cashed in his King of the Ring title shot at Dominion and failed in that. And yeah, he's not really been able to get over this hump recently. And meanwhile, Frank Gallo, he debuted at Dominion in an impressive showing against Hunter Sampson. And he called out Cross for this match. And it's going to be an interesting one here. I think you would argue Frank X Cross might have the advantage in this. So for those who don't know, Cowboy rules, basically the only way to win is by throwing your opponent over the top rope. Frank Cross would seem to have the advantage here. He's a former King of the Ring winner, so he certainly knows how to throw people over the top rope. That being said, Frank Gallo, he's a bit unpredictable. You don't know what he'll pull out. And yeah, this is going to be an interesting one for certain. What's your thoughts, DP?
Yeah. So, as we all know, I'm a reformed person. For whatever reasons, I was not a fan. I was a fan, sorry, of Frank X Cross. Obviously, now I've seen the light. I've seen the true ways of how life should be, and I, of course, am supporting the actual Frank in this match, Frank Gallo. I think, there's always there's always an element of the unknown in these, and that's always a benefit because people don't know what to expect. And I think that Gallo's got an upper hand here because to that extent, Cross has no idea what you're getting into here, or has very little idea. Meanwhile, Gallo would have studied tape on Cross and knows what to expect. So prediction wise, I'm going to go Gallo, and yeah, Gallo for the win. And obviously, as we all know, the winner of a Frank v Frank match takes the other name Frank. That's how it works.
I don't know if that is on the stipulation, but maybe it is. We don't know. What's your thoughts, Kid?
Well, for me, this one has a classic written all over it. But now you've got to think to yourself, Frank Gallo has been the one to call out Frank Cross and furthermore for putting the ball right in Frank Cross's wheelhouse, doing a Cowboy Rules match. You just got to wonder to yourself, what does Frank Gallo know that the rest of us don't? And at the end of the day, maybe Frank Gallo doesn't know, because let me tell you, he's a strange cat, man. He's like he's so unpredictable. Maybe he doesn't know. Maybe he doesn't know what he's going to do, and maybe that's his advantage. But I'm hoping for Big Strutton to win because let's face it, me and Strutton are close personal friends, just like that. So
yeah, no, that's fair enough. I think this one's going to be very interesting. I think Frank has a chip on his shoulder and he wants to try and finally get a win this year, which he's still waiting for. So does Gallo. He's also looking for that win. It's a really close one here. I think, like I said, there's the unpredictability with Gallo, but I think I'm going to take Frank X Cross in this. I think I've seen he definitely has the experience to throw people over the top rope, and I think maybe Gallo's biting off a bit more than he can chew, but who knows? So we'll move on to the next match. We're going with the Scottish Interpromotional Championship. The champion, Davey Blaze, accompanied by the manager of champions, Charles Boddington, taking on Sam Taylor. Now, I'll admit this is my first time going to be seeing Sam Taylor. I know he's shown up once or twice in Pro 2 before. A bit more of a young up-and-comer, and he's getting a big title shot here against what has been a very dominant champion in Davey Blaze. He's been, since winning it at the last year's Battlelines, he's just mowed through his competition. He's beaten Frank X Cross, he's beaten Taylor Belando, Lucha DS, Hunter Sampson. He's just been dominant, and my only gripe with him really is that I don't think he needs Boddington to help him. He's been a dominant force in Pro 2 and Scottish wrestling for years.
It's not,
and yet
it's not about Boddington being there to help or anything like that. He's there to just set the status. He's there to show that Blaze is a champion, as a caliber champion who deserves to be managed by someone like Boddington, because Boddington himself is the manager of champions. So if you're not with Boddington, who are you really?
Well, either way, I think this will be a tough test for Sam Taylor. I think he's almost getting thrown into the deep water here, you know. And I think I don't have much notes on Taylor, so I can't really say much else. I think he'll put on a great showing here in a big time match against Davey Blaze. What's your thoughts, DP?
Yeah, so let me talk to you. So we have, of course, Sam Taylor. Relatively, I'm guessing he's quite new to the scene, or new to the pro wrestling scene, or at least new to Pro 2. Sounds like a youngster, if I had to guess. I don't, because I'm the same boat to you, Muzza. I don't really know much about him.
Yeah.
However, on the other side of the bracket, you've got someone like Davey Blaze, a veteran in the business who's managed by another veteran in the business. Yeah, you've got the absolute personification of tactics and strategy at ringside. Should Blaze need it, you know? But as we always come to expect, I expect a fully clean bout with nothing, with no shenanigans happening whatsoever.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
And Blaze wins. Sorry, and Blaze wins.
Yeah. What's your thoughts, Kid?
Well, you know, guys, as you rightly point out, Sam Taylor is a young gun from the PBW School of Wrestling. He's an Ayrshire lad, so he's from Kilmarnock, and he will have his supporters there in the crowd, seeing as he is from Ayrshire, because we're all about Ayrshire and Pro 2 Wrestling. So, you know, the momentum that can give you, especially in a championship match, when, you know, it'll take you that extra bit along the way.
Yeah.
So he has everything going for him. But as you do rightly point out, Davey Blaze is just on an incredible run. He has the cheating manager of champions at his side, and I agree. I don't think Davey needs Charles Boddington. I think Charles Boddington needs Davey Blaze. That's what I think. But again, that's just my opinion. But Davey Blaze is in the most incredible shape of his life right now. He's you know, ripped to shreds. He's looking amazing. He's working the ring is second to none. So again, I don't tend to make predictions so much, but the challenger has a hard battle, an uphill battle on his hands, and he's going to need all of those Ayrshire people out there to cheer him on and help him.
Mm.
Yeah, I agree. As much as it would be nice to see a good upset here, I can't see it happening yet. I think if you do this as a rematch down the line a year from now, maybe the outcome's different. But I think for this one, I think Davey's going to retain, whether by hook or by crook. We'll have to wait and see.
There's no crooks here.
Anyway, we move on next to the Pro 2 Bells Division Championship. The champion, Angel Hayes, defending against AT Mills. Angel Hayes, similarly, has been red hot. This is going to be her fourth defense, I believe, of the title. She's already retained over the likes of Daisy Jenkins, the Goddess Hera, and at the last show, King of the Bean, Katie Mills, which is interesting. So clearly, Katie Mills only into her third match in Pro 2, but she's impressed enough to get another shot, which is going to be interesting to see if she's going to come up with a different tactic. Unfortunately, I wasn't at King of the Bean, so I don't know exactly how that match went down. But from what I've seen of KT, she's a powerhouse. She's a powerhouse. You know, she managed to go toe to toe with another powerhouse in Hera. So Angel Hayes has got a bit of an uphill battle in that department, but Angel is, you know, one of the best female wrestlers in Scotland, and I dare say the UK. I'm sure she's got that scouted out. And yeah, I think this is going to be a sleeper hit of a match. What's your thoughts, DP?
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree wholeheartedly with that. I'm a similar vote to you as well. I've not seen much of Katie Mills, but I'm familiar with Angel Hayes' game. And the fact that Katie Mills has been given another chance here is clearly indicative that she's impressed someone in management or something to get another shot so quickly after losing the first one that she had. But
yeah,
Yeah, as you said, I think it's gonna be a sleeper hit because I don't think people will expect too much of this, but I think it will be a very good match, and no reason why it won't underperform.
Yeah. So, what's your thoughts, kid?
Listen, let me tell you, I was ringside at King of the Bing, obviously, to see what has turned out to be the very best women's match that I've ever had the privilege to call. It was, obviously you guys will see it over the winter on Pro Tuesdays, but man, you have to be prepared for just an incredible match. Katie Mills had made an amazing account of herself, the Polynesian powerhouse, and for me, Katie Mills is a modern day Klondike Kate. She's for the women's division. I mean, she's bigger than a lot of those girls there, and believe me when I say that she took the champion right to the limit. I mean, we'll talk. Well, it was a New Japan style. Just I couldn't believe what I was seeing in terms of the women's division. It was just absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
And I believe that that's what's happened in terms of the management. I think that they've saw that and thought nobody has got this close. I mean, we're talking this close to taking Angel Hayes to the limit and taking that Bells Division Championship from her. So, I mean, from a management perspective, you have to be looking at that and saying, not only do the fans want to see more of this action, management and staff want to see more of it and see just where the lay of the land is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see, now that this is a straight up rematch, is Angel Hayes going to have to come in here with a different plan, a different strategy? And obviously Katie's gonna have the momentum. She knows she can take Angel to her limits and knows what she might need to do differently to change the outcome. That being said, I think Katie will be close again, but I'm not 100% sure if she'll be able to finish off Angel personally. I think Angel Hayes might still be able to pull out the retain in this one. What's your prediction, DP?
So yeah, I'm gonna go with Katie. I'm gonna go with the sort of semi-upset. I guess is probably the right term for it. Because I am a thorough believer in that lightning don't strike twice. And if Angel was taken to her limit here, there's no reason to say Katie was taken to hers. So I think personally, Katie has more in the tank here, and I think Katie will pull out with the win. The upset win, I was gonna say, but yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
I mean, sometimes when you get so close to something that you can taste it, you know what I mean? It's she will have that. Katie, make no mistake about it, has smelled the blood in the water and will be coming after Angel Hayes like a shark. But then again, Angel Hayes is a great champion, and champions, especially great ones, always rise to the occasion and push themselves beyond the limits, and that's probably why Angel Hayes is the champion. So all I know is it's going to be an incredible match, and I cannot wait to be ringside to see it, quite honestly.
I've got to also raise a question before we continue as well. As we know, Angel Hayes is a great champion. As we've all established, she's a great champion in her reign. But I'm assuming she's refused the services of Charles Wellington, the manager of champions.
There we go again.
Saying that, right? If he's manager of champions, why is she not accepting his help or his management? Or his guidance? So with that in mind,
she has her own voice, her own opinion. That in mind, she doesn't want.
Stop trying to silence me. Come on. With that in mind, Katie could utilize the guidance of Charles Boddington, and as she wins, as I said, that's a shark in the water. Like he's already got a band of sharks. TJ Rage, Davey Blaze, these are all sharks. These are all big people. These are all people who are champions. These are all people who are established in their own right. I think, honestly, KT wins, showcases some of that ability, some of that sharpness in her. Comes champion, Boddington will be straight on the phone, or in person. I don't know, and I think KT would utilize it. And so my question is, do you think Charles Boddington will get involved in some capacity?
Hope not. I'll say.
Well, I would hope not. Angel Hayes, as far as I know, as far as my dealings with Angel Hayes, the lassie has integrity stamped all the way through her like a stick of Blackpool rock. It's so if and I'm not saying that it has happened, but I'm saying if Charles Boddington has reached out to her, I'm pretty sure she would just put the phone down. Katie Mills, I don't know her that well personally, but something Charles Boddington does better than anybody in this business is spot championship potential. That and you can guarantee if Charles Boddington takes somebody into his stable, at some point there's going to be gold round their waist, because he'll see to it, because he'll make sure it happens. Not that I don't like it. I don't like that that's how it is. But I mean, he's a 20+ year veteran manager. You know, and his record with the people like Drew McIntyre, and Wolfgang, it speaks for itself.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that is why he is the manager of champions. That is why he is the living embodiment of what is greatness in management.
Anyway, moving on. We got the Pro2 Why So Serious Championship. The champion Logan Smith defending against BT Gunn. This is the match I've got circled. This is Logan Smith. This is his 7th defense of the title, and this is arguably probably going to be his toughest challenge as champion. BT Gunn doesn't really need an introduction. Legend of the Scottish scene. And if there's a title in Scotland, you could probably almost hedge a bet he's won it. And he's just a consummate professional. I think this match will probably steal this. This is, as I said, I've got this circled for match of the night off the bat. Not to discredit Logan Smith, he was arguably if there was an end of year awards, but last year Logan Smith would have won it, in my opinion. He had a stellar year. He had a stellar 2023 with the TLC match against Dean Ford, as well as defenses against the likes of Damon A and other people. This year, he's had the defense against Ray Barani, and I don't think it was a title defense against Frank X Cross. I think that was non-title, but he's been showing up. He's been on a hot streak. That being said, a tough challenge with BT Gunn. I think it'll be a very good match. What's your thoughts, DP?
Yeah, I agree. I think BT Gunn will be a very tough challenge for Logan Smith. Logan's quite young as well. Like, BT Gunn's a veteran, as he's established on the wrestling scene. Not even just the Scottish wrestling scene. Like, he's known across the UK scene. With that in mind, there's a reason why he's been champion for so long, Logan. 7 defenses. I'll say this is the 7th defense. You said, right? The 7th defense. This is. Yeah. So he's defended it 6 times, and there's a reason for that. He's able to adapt on the fly. He's able to adapt on the go, and someone like BT Gunn is always adapting as well. So this is a counterpoint for Logan. But saying that, I don't. There's an element of age to this as well. Logan's younger, fitter, faster. But saying that, BT will have the advantage, tactically. He's been around the industry for longer. He's more familiar with tactics and more familiar with what to do in certain situations. So with that in mind, I just don't know. It's hard to call. But prediction-wise, I think Logan. I think there's just an element of why he's champion now and who he's gone through already to hold on to the title he has as it is.
Yeah, fair enough. What's your thoughts, kid?
Man, I've seen I've seen BT Gunn so many times in other promotions. I've only had the privilege of calling one of his matches against TJ Rage all the way back at Venue 38 in Ayr, and man, BT Gunn is a competitor like none other, and experience breeds success. I mean, he's been up against all the big names. He's been that Scottish scene up at that championship level. So again, Logan Smith, you can't take anything away from him. The young man is just reaching his stride right now. In my opinion, he's just reaching his peak, or on his way to reaching his peak. And the guy is just a born competitor. He's very focused. He's a student of the game. As to what's going to happen, it's anybody's guess, in my opinion. But again, BT Gunn and Logan Smith, you could argue that that's maybe going to be match of the night. For a lot of the fans, that might be match of the night. That's about all I can say on that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, this is certainly like, and BT Gunn still in incredible shape. Still, it's not like he's still hanging on. He's still very much can go with the best of them anytime.
He's right. He's right there.
I think he'll be like I said, he'll be a very tough opponent for Logan Smith. That being said, I think Logan Smith will still win here. I think it would be a very big win for Logan Smith, and it would definitely elevate him with a win over someone like BT Gunn. Yeah. And with that, we'll move on to our final match. The main event is for the Pro2 Ayrshire Heavyweight Championship. The champion, TJ Rage, accompanied by, once again, the manager of champions, Charles Boddington, taking on Hunter Sampson. This match has been definitely got the biggest build out of all the other matches. This is a rematch from all the way back at Homecoming, where TJ defeated Hunter Sampson, and since then Hunter has been on a mission to just get his revenge on not just TJ but essentially anyone involved with Charles Boddington, and with that, Hunter, and I've always said this. I think Hunter, it's still relatively new to the scene, but he has, with every match, I can see the improvements, and he's adapting to his style. The story of this match, basically, Hunter wanted another shot. Boddington said, "You lost to TJ. You're back in the line."
Right, please, sir.
But that being said, there was a wave in with King of the Bing, and Hunter did eventually win King of the Bing, and he's cashing in that shot against TJ. But as we know, TJ, the inaugural Ayrshire Heavyweight Champion, he's been champion for years now. This is his 11th defense. The list of names he's beaten, you've got, as you say, you've got BT Gunn, you've got Andy Roberts, Mike X Cross Krieger. It's going to be a tough one, and with obviously you've got Boddington will be there, and he's gonna do what he does best, and it's not just a physical battle between Hunter and TJ. Hunter's gonna need eyes on the back of his head with everything, and yeah, I think this is gonna be a powerhouse match for certain. What's your thoughts, DP?
Yeah, I can say with absolute pride and honour that I am a proud member of Boddington's Army. It's right there, you can see it right there. And, I've got to admit, every time that TJ Rage had a match against someone who was established, be it the Grady's of the world or the Andy Roberts of the world, I always just thought there was an element that I was just sort of like, experience. I know TJ Ray's experience as well, but I just thought there was a chance that he might have lost. And it was through I'll keep saying it, the tactical guidance of the manager of champions, Charles Boddington, that TJ Ray was able to get past these gladiators knocking at the door. And I feel like this is another example of this. Like, not saying that, pardon me, not saying that Hunter Sampson is not is an established person, because, as you said, he's relatively new to the scene. But this is a story of self-entitlement. Hunter Sampson has seen it upon himself to take out some ridiculous revenge over Boddington's army and Boddington's crew, or what we want to call them, them lot. And because of that, he's entered himself into a battle royal he didn't belong in, won the battle royal in some ridiculous way, and now he's claiming another shot at a title he doesn't deserve. So
the winning King of the Ring, it means he gets a title shot at anything he wants, anytime any place.
Yeah, then go
Legally
for a
allowed to
title
have
more
it.
to his style, like the Why So Serious title.
He said he wanted.
I couldn't disagree more with you. Sorry to interrupt there, but I couldn't disagree more. Listen, 7 foot tall, 270 pounds. You cannot teach that. Now, Hunter Sampson has taken the loss at Homecoming. He took it like a man, but he was cheated out of it. Let's make no mistake about it. It came within a hair's breadth of getting that all-important Ayrshire Heavyweight Championship. And Charles Boddington used the suitcase. He used the inexperienced referee that they brought out. Not to disparage that referee, but we did have Edith Summer in the official position, and Charles Boddington objected to it. Which again, I suppose, as it's his right to look out for his client TJ Rage. I understand that, but TJ's betrayed us all in Pro 2, to be quite honest about it. TJ's has betrayed us all. I personally counted him as a friend, and what he's done is just, he's been a great champion, but for all the wrong reasons.
I think
Hunter Sampson.
Hang on.
No, please.
No, I'll say, I think personally that TJ Rage has done the thing that we should do in life, and that is cash in on ourselves. And he's made his life better by, whether it's by questionable means, as you lot put, or hiring the services of someone established in the business as a wrestling manager, Charles Boddington. Because again, as a member of Charles Boddington's army, there's an element of, you're going to get the best guidance you can get, the best advice you can get. Yes, there's been a few accidents, around ringside. As you said, the briefcase was used. He dropped it. That was all that happened. It fell out of his hands. That's what happened. There's other times when, he's had to pull someone out the ring because they were choking on something to give them CPR. It happens. Like, in the ring, you choke on air. It can happen to anyone. Like, he's not only a veteran, he's also a medically trained person. Like, this is a man who looks out for his clients and looks out for other people in the business as well. Like,
I'll agree with you there. He does look after his clients very, very well. And in fact, as Muzza pointed out, it was Big Bad John had to give Hunter Sampson the news that he wasn't the number one contender, despite winning against Frank Gallo at Kilwinning. But it was to the champion's advantage clause in the contracts. Now, most good champions wouldn't even take that clause. They'll take any comer that the management see fit to put in front of them. But Hunter Sampson's disadvantage, right? And I'm going to be brutally honest here. Hunter Sampson's disadvantage is that he didn't have somebody in his corner, that he didn't have a Charles Boddington, a manager. You know, as you point out, he's not been in the game as long as some other people, and it could perhaps use somebody, you know, to help him get just a little bit further up that ladder, because he has all the tools that and the skills and the physical attributes that you need to be not only a great wrestler but a great champion. There's been some rumours around that Hunter does actually have someone in his corner now. Maybe that's who advised him that he should enter the King of the Bing and win it to cash in on TJ. I'm just speculating, but maybe there is someone in his corner now. Maybe that's why the tide has turned for him.
Yeah.
We should probably look into see if that person has a manager's license or not, because that is a wrestling rule, and Boddington does have a manager's license, as we all know, because he is a manager of champions. So we need to look into this person, whoever they may be, if there is someone, to see if they are fully licensed to be there at ringside, because frankly, you know, there's not enough of this going on. You know, we need more validation. We need more checks. We need to make sure people are properly meant to be where they are.
More bureaucracy, that's what wrestling needs.
Yeah. Anyway.
Delusional take. I'm sure, listen, knowing Pro2 Wrestling, I'm sure that all the licenses and contracts are all being firmly adhered to, so you can rest easy about that, DP.
Yeah, I'll step in now. Yeah, I think overall this is going to be a very personal match. Both of them have their reasons. TJ's going to want to just continue this reign of dominance. That way,
TJ has been very dominant. He has been so dominant, and it's difficult to see how even somebody who is a literal giant on this earth, it's difficult to see how they can overcome that dominance of Boddington's army, because you're not just facing the champion, you're facing Davey Blaze, you're facing potentially Hammerhead Smith, you're facing Charles Boddington himself, who has already he's the master tactician. As much as I hate to admit it, as much as I think it's disgusting, he's the master tactician. He's the Satan of Scottish wrestling.
Right.
It's a hard fight. You spelled that wrong, DP. Made you look. His earbud fell out.
Dude, that's made my day. Anyway, I'll step in now before we have to cut this out. I think this is, as I said, very close personal match. Could go either way. You don't, as I said, TJ, you don't know who's going to win this. My personal prediction, I think Hunter's,
brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Yeah. And I think we might have a new heavyweight champion. I think it's time. I think whoever, as Kid has alluded to, if there's someone giving Hunter advice, this person clearly knows what they're doing. And I think maybe it's a bit of a bias of wanting to see something new, but I think Hunter is certainly, he's only going to get better. And if he doesn't win, you never know. Who knows if he'll get another chance. But if he were, I think TJ's in for a tough time, no matter what. But I personally want Hunter to win, and maybe that's just bias. I think we all know who DP is.
100% bias. That is, you've got to think objectively with these with predictions, especially. You've got to think, who is the most likely to win given the circumstances? And as we've all pointed out already, I'm a Boddington's Army guy, as we all know. However, I am also a TJ Rage guy. This guy. And under that pseudonym, I am going to go in with TJ Rage to retain and continue his historic reign. Because no one else can hold that title right now besides TJ Rage.
Well, I'll agree with you up to a point there, DP. It's for anybody to take that title off of TJ, they're going to have to pull out something so special. It might be, at this point in time, it might be impossible. It might be impossible.
Yeah, that will do for the card. Not much else to say. As of this recording on the Sunday. I believe tickets are still available, Kid, I assume.
A limited amount of tickets are still available, but we are looking at a sold out show here, guys. It's the anticipation, the buzz around Ayrshire for this is unlike anything I've ever seen on any of our shows so far. We've always had buzz, we've always had momentum, but for this particular show, I've got people coming up to me all the time. What's going to happen? Can I get tickets? What's, all of this stuff. The buzz is absolutely incredible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
absolutely. And I think as far as prediction goes, the winners are going to be the fans, because it's going to be an incredible show. And for anybody that doesn't have their tickets yet, I would strongly advise not waiting to get on the door to get them. I'd strongly advise getting them booked right now, because you want that seat secured. Believe me.
Yeah, and I'll put a link in the description below for you to get your tickets, and follow Pro2 everywhere as well on social media.
Yeah, as Evie said, follow Pro2 on all the social medias. Similarly, you can follow us on all the social medias. If you haven't, why aren't you? That's a bit silly. But that'll do for this show. Special thanks to Kid for agreeing to come on. It's been a pleasure, a blast. And
an absolute pleasure, guys. An absolute pleasure for the most part, apart from DP going off on wild rants about conspiracy theories.
That's you.
No. All joking aside, I've been looking forward to this interview, and I've very much enjoyed it. So thank you very much to Muzza. Thank you very much to DP. I appreciate that. I appreciate you having me on. Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Yep, no problem. Please like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time on the HCW show.